I think of charity. When you think of charity, what comes to my mind is brands that are all about donating money to give water. Now, the key there is that campaign evokes emotion of empathy, letting them know the current situation, and then does a U-shape storyline that brings you to the other side that evokes hope, drawing in people because they see their direct impact from donating money that's going to bring people water. So it's the visualization of the immediate dopamine hit of, I see how what I'm going to donate is going to help, and I see the immediate benefit from it and the long-term value of it, which may compel me. Doesn't matter how much I donate, is going to make a big difference. I feel better about myself. Awesome. Now, Troy, that's charity. I can't apply that and find a storyline to do that for my marketing strategy. Of course you can. Because at the end of the day, it's about empathy. And empathy means understanding your audience's pain points, their desires, and their motivations. And brands that practice empathetic marketing build trust and foster genuine connection with their consumers in a way that compels them to activate their own empathy and have hope. Did you ever think that maybe your product, your service, your offering, your creation, your content can impact them in a way that brings them hope? Hope that things are going to get better, hope that they can learn technology, hope that they can be better marketers, hope that they can be a better business, hope that they can grow. All that. Did you ever think about that? Have you ever associated the word hope with your business? Have you ever thought to infuse hope in your marketing? Listen, today's sales leaders know their expectations are at an all-time high. Beyond the cold calling and closing deals, sales teams are expected to leverage a slew of different tech to do things like dig into the numbers, quickly switch up strategies, and collab across teams. But there's such a better way to win. It all starts with the new HubSpot Sales Hub. HubSpot Sales Hub unifies your data, your tools, and your teams inside a smart and powerful platform. There's a new prospecting workspace, deal management tools, AI-powered tools that help reps optimize based off of real-time results. And bonus points, the reps can automate their busy workflows so they can focus on doing what they do best, closing them deals. It's smart software for smart sales teams that feels really good to use. To me, it sounds like a smart situation. With Sales Hub, closing deals is no big deal, no biggie. Try it for yourself at HubSpot.com/sales. Sounds weird, but sounds very cool and sounds very effective. How do we integrate hope? How do we integrate empathy in our marketing? Well, number one, we got to listen. We got to listen to your customers. And that could be through connecting, asking questions, doing surveys, feedback forms, social listening tools, questions, and having meet and greets with your already activated customers or consumer lists. Tailoring your messaging to show understanding of their challenges and offer solutions, not just products. It's not about the product, it's about the solution the product can activate. From the old context days, from the old iPad ads. Yeah, okay, we're not going to focus on how much memory you have. Here, have 1,000 songs in your pocket. Simple to the point. I want to talk about solutions and make sure you have an understanding of that, not the product. The product is the bridge to the result. Focus on the result, and the product's going to sell. But do we do that? Due diligence. Do we remind ourselves of that? Do we get lost in the obsession and the stress and the pressure of, I need to get this sale so badly that I forget I'm talking to another human that has a lot of other things just like you to deal with? I have to pay bills, pay taxes, do expenses, deal with unexpected things, and you want me to carve out some time to buy your service? To pay for your membership, to pay for your product? You better have a compelling story and make it stick that it's going to be valuable enough in my life. Allocate funds away from other things to buy it. You better make sure your value statement and the conviction and the conveying of value sticks and lands, or I'm going to be greatly disappointed. We have to understand that this is an emotional journey with a logical foundation. Evoking emotions like hope and joy and inspiration is what matters. It's what's going to move those things, keep you grounded, and not just be solely about grabbing attention. It's about substance. And from there, it's not enough to just tell the story. We got to personalize the story. Personalization goes beyond simply using a customer's name in an email. It's about crafting relevant, tailored experiences based on data insights, consumer evaluation. Personalized marketing makes customers feel seen and valued, which fosters trust and loyalty and activates them to be an advocate. Bold, bright, and brilliant. I want to hit them where it matters the most and give them a big hug, virtual one, and know that this is personalized for you. I think about the Amazon recommendation engine, and it drives and compels users based off not only what they have put in their cart or viewed, but over the time period, what they know from data insights you like. What probably around this time of the year you probably need, and maybe even some things that you've probably considered, but maybe it was a little pricey. Maybe now's the time. I think about Spotify Wrapped, which was made and created by a Black woman. I do want to call that out. She still ain't got her credit to this day, and then it's unfortunate, but I digress. By simply giving users personalized data on their listening habits, they connected with customers on a personal level that not only sparked conversations and built community, but had a massive amount of people sharing it on every single platform they could to get even more people to not only listen to their lists, their artists, their tailor-made experiences, but get people to do the same thing back and forth, not realizing the entire time you're marketing and being an advocate and driving more people to use the app, which makes them more money. Makes the artists happy too, because now they're driving more things as well. And it all feels like a personalized referral experience where the brand got to do nothing. And all they did was just take your data, personalize it, conceptualize it visually, gave it to you, and enabled you the ability to share it with the world. And you did it willingly, freely, happily, gracefully, proudly, and it worked. Then you've seen other brands who've emulated the same context in their email, in their app usage, and other contexts of things to do the same thing to bring the best and the similar outcome. Personalization drives deeper resonance, which amplifies people at their core to be advocates and share with conviction and honesty and transparency and the highest caliber that your own marketing team couldn't do, that they can do even better because you bridge the gap between consumption and advocacy. That's going to drive you more awareness than you ever could in its most authentic and most humanized, most intimate form that you can't recreate, but they can on your behalf to help you build your business, get more listeners, get more followers, get more buyers, get more advocates, build a bigger community, all by taking personalized data, wrapping it in swaddling clothes of abundance of beautiful visualization and marketing and human connection with pathways and channels for them to take that and run with it. Brilliant. Simply brilliant. But yeah, not everybody's an Amazon. Not everybody's a Spotify that get a massive amount of data. But the data you do get, your first party data that was willingly given, how do you then build off that to have personalized, ethical experiences that drive advocacy in a way that pushes people beyond what they normally would do because the personalization was so good, the experience was so good, I have to tell somebody. I got to go tell it on the mountain. I got to go do it. It's a necessity. So don't be afraid of the data. Use customer data not to intrude, but to deliver value by making their experience with your brand more relevant and more personalized. Truth, Lies, and Workplace Culture is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. Join husband and wife team Al and Leanne as they dispel myths, impart wisdom, and answer all your questions about finding, keeping, and motivating great people. The show has a unique blend of theory and practice, which helps business owners and leaders simplify consumer psychology. It's all about exploring what makes people tick. Each episode delivers actionable insights and practical steps to create toxic-free workplaces that prioritize employee well-being and enable sustainable growth to build a thriving workplace. Did we mention the hosts are also a married couple? This makes for some very lively and informative discussions. Listen to Truth, Lies, and Workplace Culture wherever you get your podcasts. Now from there, we got to go from broad messaging to micro communities. Niche communities through niche marketing allows for deeper resonance at a subpersonal level. Those who are activating in broad messaging are often, quite frankly, too generic. Therefore, you're kind of dense. You're not going to connect deeply because you have no merit. You got no depth to you. You're generically advocating for yourself and posting on social versus being niche and micro-targeted with the language you use, with the specific interests and values and identifiers that you bring to the table, which will lead to deeper resonance. And if your marketing can speak to specific communities, this is where my diversity, my equity, my inclusion, my belongingness, and accessibility, my DEIBA comes in handy. This is why I keep saying this is where it needs to be. This is where it needs to go. I need to see myself reflected, my values emulated. I need to see, feel, like, know, trust, and believe that as what I identify, as who I identify, can find value in what you offer and what you bring and the community that you have. The better I feel, the more I'm going to buy. The more I'm going to be about your business and brag about your business because there's a stronger emotional connection that's taking place because you've catered your experience to the unique needs of me, to the unique needs of the audience. A community-driven brand encourages two-way communication between customers and the brand. We ain't doing this one way. I tell people all the time, stop broadcasting. Start having conversations. Speak, listen, speak, listen, speak, listen. Adjust, pivot, add more value, add more value, add more value. Speak, listen, ask more questions, ask people to share their insights. It may seem like a lot of work, but you're going to get a lot more depth, a lot more insights to adjust and pivot accordingly than go off of some random report you got from somebody else that pulled from their third-party information, and you're using that as your guide, and it doesn't even resonate to the very people who's going to buy from you. You are literally ostracizing people because of something that doesn't even relate to them versus pulling your own information by asking questions, getting the answers you need to pivot and adjust your marketing accordingly to be as specific and accessible as possible. The two-way communication, the two-way interaction creates a sense of belonging. Who doesn't want to feel heard? Who doesn't want to feel seen? Who doesn't want to feel acknowledged? Who doesn't want to feel part of the pivot, part of the adjustment, part of the growth plan, part of the marketing plan? Who doesn't want to feel like, hey, I helped this business grow to that amount of money? Yay, we did it together. No, you did it. We did it. I don't grow unless you go and buy. So I'm going to make you part of my journey for my success, your success. My success is your success, which is our success. Find your niche, cultivate community, and focus on engaging deeply with your audience rather than trying to appeal to everybody. If you try to speak to every language, you ain't going to speak to no language. No one's going to understand. No one's going to resonate. No one's going to buy. And then you will DI. You know how it goes. We don't want your brand to unalive itself. We don't want your marketing to fail. We want you to be successful and be here for a long time. But that requires you to put in the work to build the community. Make sure you're inclusive. Make sure you've built a system in place where you've identified the bigger players, but you're not ostracizing other people that could potentially be buyers, advocates, and elevators for your community. And now we got to bring this all together. People are obsessed over social media. Not to mention the type of content we need to create, the type of platforms, the tone, the messaging. Sure, I don't want to do vertical video on LinkedIn. People are doing their spam, they're taking over. Well, that was the same thing when Reels came out. Same thing when Reels integrated with Facebook. Same thing when TikTok came out. Same thing with Instagram, did all the different things. Same thing with Snapchat. I don't want to do audio. Same thing with Clubhouse came out. Now LinkedIn audio came out. Now AirChat is out of here. There's so many things that become trends that people are saying is in demand. And we have resistance that we don't want to do it. We don't want to navigate. We want to do this. It's not about your preferences. It's what the audience and the marketplace demands that your particular niche audience wants to consume to make a decision to buy. Do you have the right skills in place? What I say are four currencies: your time, your money, your knowledge, and your skill. You got to adjust those accordingly to apply what you're trying to do. So in this age of new and modern and different type of social media platforms and different type of social media strategies and content distributions and content demand and all these things, everyone's savvy now. We got to find the vein that matters. And this is where we need to reduce ourselves in the high frequency post compartment and embrace ourselves more in the authenticity of driving engagement department. I challenge you to create inclusive, customer driven communities through your social media advocacy programs. Get them involved. Make them feel seen and heard. Make them feel they have some power, have some say. Watch what happens. We got to cut through the social media, you know what, by being genuine. It's funny, even in 2024, going into 2025, we still have a lot of B2B brands, a lot of B2C brands who don't get the simplicity of just being genuine. Now, with AI coming to the roots and everyone wants to double tap that for content and visuals and imagery and videos, don't lose your authenticity embracing the AI. We can use AI to elevate authenticity at a high volume frequency that doesn't lose ourselves in the process. But just because we got new fancy technology that can amplify our speed exponentially doesn't mean that gives us an excuse to lose our authenticity of being genuine to our consumers. We got to be transparent. We got to be real. And this is why behind the scenes moments and the whole, which is fake but real at the same time, our intern took over our social. Here's what we because they cut off the BS and they're expressing the things that matter. We're having a fun take on it. We're having some humor. We're embracing human emotions that maybe in other instances we weren't tapping into enough. Why can't your brand make money and be fun? Why can't your brand be profitable and be serious and have a serious message and be dramatic? We don't all got to be a Wendy's. Why are we still referencing Wendy's? As if there wasn't plenty of brands before them and after them that wasn't witty. Get some new examples. Please, please reset. There's so many examples of brands that are doing phenomenal, activating all different types of emotions that make sense for their audience, that not only compels them to buy, but compels them to be part of the community at large. How you use social media isn't about you. It's about the audiences that align with you. Social media is the highway. As I said in my book, Strategize Up, it is the literal highway to where you're trying to go, to where you're trying to be. Now, I hope you enjoyed this masterclass. I feel like it was a masterclass. I feel like we went mega deep. And I hope it resonated because we need to resonate with our marketing channels to connect, to compel, to convert, to build community through authenticity, being genuine, being real, leaning in on the human psyche, creating that emotionally charged marketing content that builds that connection, that compels people to say yes. This is the deeper game of marketing. And at the same time, it's the foundation of it. Doesn't matter what platforms come and go. Doesn't matter the techniques, the type of content. When you have the foundation of how to make it, the language, the tone, the visualization, how to compel, you're going to be successful. You're going to be sustainable and you're going to be profitable. So I challenge you to humify your marketing. Make sure it aligns. with who you're trying to connect with. Don't focus on just the buyer mentality or the buyer persona. Focus on those who just would vibe with the brand. No, I don't believe in if you build it, they will come. That is old nomenclature that is, quite frankly, irrelevant and not real, nor is it realistic. But if we build it with them and advertise it for them and be genuine to them, we will build the right channels for them to come to us, say yes, advocate for us, and tell other people about us. And we'll grow, and we'll go, and we'll go, and we'll go. And then before you know it, we're built on a strong foundation that's unforgettable, that's unmovable, and it's solid. So we can expand to other communities, expand to other things without losing our core beliefs of who we are, our core audience that made us who we are today. That's the other thing I think people forget. We get so obsessive over new people. We don't continue to market to the people we already have in hand. They're easier to sell to. They're easier to buy from, especially if they already had a good positive experience. Let's maintain that lifetime value and focus on those who are already in our community. If we obsess more on the top of the funnel and don't maintain those already at the bottom holding us up, the whole funnel is going to break apart and we will be no more. So I hope this episode has brought you value. I hope that this stylistic journey was a little bit different, a little bit unique, wasn't too headstrong like I normally do, a little more soft, a little more chill. You know, I'm just coming back from inbound. I'm just kind of like, let's ease back into this thing. Believe it or not, before I took my quick hiatus, our podcast, yeah, I said our, not mine. Our podcast was in the top 10 in U.S. marketing for 12 weeks straight, peaking at number 3 in all the marketing podcast catalog. Amazing. And that's because of you, my listeners, my advocates, my community. I grow as you go. We grow together. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And if this episode's brought you value and you ain't leave a review, you know what to do. If you ain't shared it with nobody, I hope you do. And you can tag me at Vine Troy on all my social platforms to let me know what you thought, any future questions, and future episodes. I am opening up the gates for new people to be part of Masterclass episodes, and I digress. I'm opening up the gates as well for more sponsorships and partnership collaborations as well. You can go to findtroy.com/podcast for more information about that. Reach out to me. My people will talk to your people, and we'll see what happens. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of I Digress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.